All right, guys, how you doing? Oh man, tonight was rough. I had some major issues with my Instagram. Started basically quitting on me, and that's how I get the social media out. So I had to just reinstall it and everything. So that was kind of a bummer. Hey, Luminary, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Crank down the music. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Luminary. Hey, Dr. Feelgood's in the house. Good to see you, man. Okay, I think I got everything situated. Does the audio and the music sound good to everybody right now? I don't want it to overpower. Oh, and look, I got my Nightbot all situated too for all my links and stuff. I hope that doesn't become annoying. All right, cool. Thanks, Dr. Feelgood. What's up, Miss Chicken Scratch? You gonna moderate my chat tonight? Make sure everybody stays in line. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna kind of just take it easy and finish up this sketch here in my sketchbook, and then I'm gonna go to more of the card art, which I don't have a ton left to do on the back. Oh, here it is, right here. This right here. So, for anybody that's just getting here, you may not know about my card project, but I'm creating a whole deck of cards. I don't know if you know this, Luminary. You probably don't, but I'm recreating all the face cards and everything. But it's all going to be a hot rod theme based card deck. And so these are just some of the images that are going to be going into that. So this is like an in-between piece, and the car sits in between that. And if you follow my Instagram, I have this whole composited together, so you got to kind of get a feel of what it's going to look like. And then this is the ace of spades. So all the aces get new cards too. Right on. So I'm sounding good? That sounds good. Cool. So anyway, so this here is this design here, which this is a rough out of my sketchbook, and then I took it and compiled it in Photoshop and laid it all out. And this is going to be the back design on the cards. So originally it started as the box, now it's the back. Because I got to thinking that the box doesn't have to be even all over the place, so... So yeah, I'm gonna start working on this, and you know, with all the technical stuff I had tonight, it kind of threw me off as far as like having a decent topic to talk about tonight. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna start drawing and just kind of talk about some of that. Actually, I could go through my sketchbook too for all of you that haven't seen it. So some of these are really rough sketches, and these are like ideas for the card deck that are in here. So this was a funny card. This one was really ugly, so I redid it and gave it the proper proportions, because I was drawing this straight out of my head and then looked at a car and got some better proportions on it. This was a real quick pencil sketch of a extended Mustang, a funny car, another funny car. This was all March of Robots stuff. So if you guys aren't familiar with March of Robots, there's a artist that started it. His name is Chocolate Soup, and he made a book that was called March of Robots, and his style was really cool. So he invited a bunch of artists to partake, and now it's kind of blown up like Inktober. So it's called March of Robots every March. So I usually participate because I love drawing robot stuff. This was kind of like a speed running robot. Another one there. There's more. And these are all just pencil sketches here with a little bit of white pencil and gouache. I use a lot of black and white artist gouache on my stuff. So I'll use that tonight. This here was a garbage truck. I always thought the AT-ATs looked like garbage trucks with legs. So, and then just more robot stuff. More robot stuff. This one got a little more complicated. I filled it all in with marker and paint and ink. It was kind of a mixed media of stuff. And this one too. And this was a design off of an Adidas t-shirt, and I put it on the robot. So, then spaceship designs. Then hot rod stuff. Kind of all over the place with that. So right now I'm going to go ahead and finish this up with marker and paint and kind of fill it in. And then I'll move on to the card design. And hopefully I'll have time for the Boba Fett thing. If you guys haven't seen the Boba Fett, like I said, click my link right there in the Nightbot thing, and it'll take you to my Instagram account. And I had a bunch of people vote. I did 4 different comps last night, and they were all black and white. I wanted 4 different lighting scenarios. So I had everyone vote on that, and two of them got quite a few votes. So I'm leaning towards one more than another. So maybe I'll have my chat finish off the vote tonight. Maybe we'll run something cool. What's up, Kimosabe? Nice name. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Okay, let me take a look at chat here. Yeah, hey, thanks, Bandit. Starting off with 9 people. You like the ones with the pointy toes? Yeah, I love toned paper. I have another sketchbook, and it's all gray toned. And I love using that toned stuff, because when you put down white, it just pops on the paper big time. And it seems like that's one of the most common questions I get when I draw in my sketchbook is what white pen I'm using, or what white pencil, or what white paint, one of those 3. I think it's kind of funny to me because I guess I've gotten used to it, and I don't find it, that crazy anymore. But people are like, "Whoa, where'd you get the white from?" So, but kind of what I'm starting out with, how I start to go over my sketches, I usually use very few markers. So I have a marker set that goes from what I think 10 to 90%. And I usually pull out, I think I start with 10. Let's see. No, I think I start with 20. Take that back. So I go 20, 40, 60. No, that's black. 60, 80. So this is primarily all the stuff I'll use in gray. And then when I do color, I'll do very selective color most of the time. It'll be pretty spotty. So, but I'd already started tonight kind of filling this thing out. This stuff kind of works a little bit like watercolor too. Oh, there's the sketch for that, for the back of the card. I need to put a piece of paper under here so I don't bleed all the way through. The one thing about markers, it does work a little bit like watercolor, not entirely, but it goes on darker and dries lighter. And when I use marker, I tend to saturate my page so that everything gets a nice tone to it. I'm going to turn down my music right here for a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. Bandit. You're cracking me up. So some basics that I can share on some of my drawings that I do with cars especially. One of the common mistakes I see people make with drawing cars from the side view is that they'll just draw the wheels directly on and they won't drop a shadow line to the other side. And obviously the shadow line is basically the tire on the other side of the car. And if you drop that in there, it gives it kind of a solid look to it. Oh, here we go. Can look at this. So most of the time, like when I'm drawing these cars, a lot of times these are out of my head. This one specifically, I actually saw somebody had built a Lego set out of this, or made a tow truck hot rod thing. And I was like, man, that's kind of cool. So I just, I didn't really steal it or anything. I just took that idea and went off of that. And if you guys, like I said, have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. What I'm doing right now is just adding in reflections and shadows. But one of my habits that I've tried to start getting in, I actually didn't draw today. Well, I guess I did. I drew for work, but usually I try to draw a sketch a day in my sketchbook. I started that probably about 2 years ago to really just sharpen my skills.
All right.
I love, oh, hey, thanks for the, oh, Dr. Feelgood. Come on, I thought you were already following me. Or are you messing around? But anyways, so I started this about 2 years ago to really have a goal to draw just about every day. And that's kind of when I really made my Instagram account take off. And I've really used that to document all my progress through these last couple of years specifically. For a long time I used Instagram, but never really took it too serious, and then finally started using it to document all my artwork, and it's been a great tool for that. Some of the other stuff you can always think about when you draw a car from the side is stuff that you're going to see from the other side. Like I said, for instance, the wheels, this like really dark area, because you're actually looking through the window and you're seeing the window on the other side. Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny, Dr. Feelgood. So you never signed up for it, huh? I thought you were always part of that. Oh, that's a good question, Luminary. So why vehicles? I think my passion for cars was always there as a kid. I did draw a lot of animals when I was younger, and I did a lot of birds of prey, deer, stuff like that. My grandfather was a hunter, And so he used to hunt deer and stuff in Colorado, and I would draw deer and eagles and stuff like that you would see on. He lived on a farm. Then, kind of after that, I started loving like old Ferraris and Lamborghinis. You know, kind of that fascination as a kid. You love those crazy, you know, sports cars. And then as I got older, when I turned about 16, my dad actually he bought a 67 Mustang, for us to fix up. So we started fixing that car up, and my passion for cars just grew exponentially. But even before that, I was thinking that in junior high, I had some fascination with like robots and mechanical stuff. And I remember seeing an Art Center catalog, Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, and it had these vehicles in it, and I loved the futuristic stuff a lot. I knew about Sid Mead's artwork that he had done all for Blade Runner and stuff, and I just loved that. And then I was also super into Star Wars too. So I think all that kind of combined into my love for vehicles. And I've always just loved old cars in general. And so I like to take like some of my futuristic approach and apply that into hot rods today, just to see what it would look like. So I've kind of developed my style over the years where I combine a lot of the old technology with new and vice versa. And then I ended up going to college for transportation design. So I studied about designing cars and did an internship at Ford, and I lived in Dearborn for a short period of time and worked in the truck studio and the advanced concept studio. So just kind of throughout the years, my passion for cars has constantly grown. Thanks. So yeah, now I have, you know, I've got such a I've looked at so many engines and cars, and I think since I rebuilt that Mustang, you really get to know cars pretty well, and you kind of learn how they operate and work. And I kind of remember all that stuff, and I use that as my bank when I draw stuff. I think that's one big key to, you know, getting really good at drawing is having that visual bank in your head. And that's when people get really good at drawing stuff out of their head and they don't even need reference and stuff. But I still do use reference as well, but yes, I had a passion. I went for it. In my past episodes, I have probably the first few people were asking me how I got into all this, and I tell my whole story. I tell the whole thing. So if you kind of want to find out more, you can go back and watch all that. I don't want to repeat it again, but if you have any specific questions, I can answer that. But I feel like I've told the story several times recently. But yeah, it definitely is a huge passion. And now that's primarily all I draw, and that's how I ended up at Hot Wheels and doing a lot of design for Mattel and DC Comics, and all my stuff has always been vehicle related. I even got to work on the Cars property with Disney for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. I was doing a bunch of styling on McQueen and everything. That was a blast. Then I got some of the funnest stuff I got to do too was actually go to Warner Brothers, and I worked on some Batmobile concepts at one time. think they were all mostly for cartoons. Then I've done several Batman vehicle toy designs for Mattel too. A lot of that stuff is out. Yeah, it's totally true. It's just like knowing anatomy. It really is. Because once you start to learn about that and you understand it, you can take it and rearrange it and make it how you want it to be. You know, learning how muscles work and how to take that arm muscle and make it look, you know, bigger or smaller. Because like when I do my mechanical stuff, I mean, a lot of the same stuff applies for spaceships too. You use the same mentality of that, which is a lot of fun. Okay. Let's go 60. And one thing I hate about these Prismacolors is the percentage is so small on these things. I always have to like really search for it. The other thing that I think is important too when you're doing a lot of vehicles is learning materials, how to render materials. What's metal, what's, you know, what's shiny, what's glossy, what's flat, all that stuff. Kind of am off on my wheel right there, but I'm not too worried about it since it's just a sketch. But that would be something I'd go fix. I need to shift that wheel back because it's going into the body right there. So yeah, I actually just started doing some kind of fan art type stuff. I did a Boba Fett piece that you'll see later, or you can even see it on Instagram if you go there and check it out. But I've never, it's kind of interesting because I've heard a lot of artists recently talk about this, about doing fan art, and I've never been one to like doing fan art. And the reason is that I just always felt like I want to create my own thing and have control over that. But the thing is obviously with fan art, people are connected to fan art. And I've learned just by listening to the other artists, it is sort of important, you know, to really get people on board with what you do. There's a guy on YouTube that I follow. His name is Will Terry, and he's a children's book illustrator. And he was one that he had the same attitude that he was like, man, I don't like doing fan art. I want to do my own thing. You know, so many people have redrawn Batman so many times, but the thing is people love that stuff, and they've already connected with that character. And if you redraw it, you know, it pulls in people that might not normally like your work, but what it ends up doing though is it causes them to like the stuff that isn't licensed characters, you know. And so I've done a few more pieces. Like, I've always loved Boba Fett, so he's kind of been my subject matter. And I tend to do really well at drawing robots and stuff like that. Anything that's like hard surface or mechanical, I have a decent knack for. And so I like drawing him. I actually would like to do more with him and probably do some more pieces. I'm hoping to take this piece that I do. I really want it to be a nice quality finished piece, and I'll probably sell a print of it and just kind of experiment with it and see how it does out there in the public, because I've never ever sold fan art. In my mind, I always thought it was illegal to do because I was taking somebody's property and selling it. But after listening to a lot of the stuff, I guess it's definitely a very gray market, and it's beneficial to the brand, but as long as you don't go overboard and sell it, you know, if you're not making millions, I guess they don't really care. So go figure. And then there are certain properties that will come after you. I heard that Nintendo's pretty crazy. I'm actually surprised that Disney's not crazier, because they have a reputation of doing that, but they've been pretty loose with all the Star Wars stuff, which is quite amazing to me. Hey, what's up, Fia? Fia? Must be Fia. Is it Fia or Fia?
All right.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Oh, my thing is right in the way. Let's put that up a little bit. You're scared of selling Disney? Like, what are you scared of selling? I'm kind of curious. I'd love to hear your input on that. Yeah, Luminary, I've heard that Nintendo's brutal. I know they were the ones that kind of came after all the streamers on YouTube, right? And kind of made them stop showing their games, right? To a certain degree, I think. Oh, Fire. Like fire. Okay, cool name. I like that. Fire. Because the thing is I ask about that Disney stuff, and I just see tons of people shooting out, you know, all kinds of interpretations of, you know, all the stormtroopers and selling the stuff. There's this convention out here by my house, or fairly close. It's not real close, but it's called Designer Con. I don't know, some people in the stream might know what that is. It's in Pasadena, and it's all like just designers and artists out there. And I saw so many prints of, you know, everything from Marvel, DC, Star Wars stuff. You know, since Disney owns Marvel now too, they've got all that. But I guess part of me just wants to try it. I guess if you get a cease and desist letter, you just stop selling it. Oh, you're not that into YouTube? I don't know about the instance. I know more about things like, yeah, cease and desist notices for Pokemon themed party. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Hey, Nathan, how you doing, man? I just saw you came in. Hey, good to see you, bro. Thanks for stopping by, man. I mean, you figure, like, if you go to comic conventions and stuff, I mean, my gosh, all those guys are selling. They're all selling superhero stuff left and right. you know, and I even see some pretty big guys. You know, like I'm thinking about guys like Jake Parker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's a phenomenal artist, but you know, he was doing all kinds of Disney characters as robots, and I don't know if he's selling that stuff, but I know that in his sketchbooks he has licensed characters and stuff. Hey, yeah, Urk 333, I was. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Is that are you the one that, what's that? I know there's a streamer on here that draws a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I think he's officially licensed though. Oh, the original Disney things? Like, you mean like some of their original characters like Stitch and things like that? It's so late here. Oh, alright, you have to go to bed, Nathan. Well, you can watch my past stream. I've been putting everything back up on YouTube too, just so I have a whole video log of that. And then I have all the past broadcasts here, but I know they don't stay here forever, so. Yeah, you wish you were licensed. I'd be curious what the process is. Like, what is it to become a licensed artist? Because I've seen some that are licensed, and I look at their stuff, and it's good, but I don't go, wow, that's incredible. So it's kind of interesting how that works. And I just remembered I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt today too. Yeah, take care, Nathan. Have a good night, man. How's that looking on the stream? One thing I love about streaming is I like to look at my drawing on the screen because it makes it smaller, and I look at it and figure out what I need to do to make it look better. All this light can affect it too a little bit. There we go. Right on, Luminary. I totally understand. I get a lot of people saying that. I think a lot of people have been watching my past streams, so that's cool. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Take care. I'll catch your stream soon too. Hey, if anybody wants to see some really cool stuff, follow Luminary. Yeah, it seems like Disney's chilled out a little bit. Like, I think, I almost kind of wonder if they started to see the value of what fan art can do for you. I know that they've got that gallery, you know, in, I don't know if many of you from, or have been to California Disneyland or anything, and I don't know if they have that same gallery in Florida. I think it's called Wonderland Gallery. And I'm not sure if they actually call those officially licensed, designer or artist or whatever. But they always feature a lot of Disney artwork in there that have done by other artists. And I have a good friend of mine that's been in there. And as far as I know, I don't think he's like any official Disney artist. But he was in the Wonderland Gallery, and he did some Marvel stuff. Now, I do believe they asked him to do it, though, so I don't know. That's probably how he got in there easier, was that he was asked to do that. So it was official. Hey, thanks for the follow, Augustin. Thanks, man. Hey, you follow me on Instagram already? Sweet. So what were you checking out in Verdez stream? Do you know her pretty well? I like that webcomic she's working on a lot. It looks cool. Whether I don't want to get too overly crazy on this, although it looks good on the screen at least. Oh, I see, Faya. Yeah, that's an interesting point, because on Patreon they're actually, it's kind of more of a donation thing, isn't it? Like you're paying like a monthly fee and you're not really selling the art physically, huh? That's interesting. I never thought about that. Oh, thanks, Augustine. Appreciate that, man. Faya, do you do Patreon at all yourself? I know that's one thing that I haven't taken the leap on yet. I've been really kind of, I guess, waiting to see how Patreon does. I've seen a lot of artists that have from really successful to really, not so good. And I suppose that has a lot to do with what you're offering your fan base. And I think one thing that I've been holding off on Patreon for is I feel like I want to make it worth everyone's while if they join it, but I haven't had that epiphany yet of what I would do to be like, this would be cool for everybody. I know I've had a few people in here that follow Aaron Inslee, or Isley, sorry, Aaron Isley. And he has a pretty cool Patreon. I like the way he's running it, where you pay $10 a month and you get to vote, and then you have the and then he does giveaways of like real art of traditional stuff. You're looking into it, Faya? Hey, Augustine, do you draw cards at all? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just kind of waiting on that Patreon thing. I'd say that the one that I've seen to be the most successful so far is that guy, Ross Draws, I think is his name. And he draws a lot of girls. A lot of... and his stuff is fan art like crazy, man. Now, granted, I think he's doing more kind of obscure type stuff. Although he did draw Shamus from Metroid. I don't know her personally, but as an artist, a little. My Patreon is almost set up. Oh, right on, Urk. Hey, Monsieur, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Oh, hey, welcome. That's cool. You're from Mexico? Right on. What part of Mexico are you from? Didn't they just stop producing the bug down there recently? I think, what, in 2000... Shoot, what was it? They just stopped it, and they were making it in Mexico. The original bug. Oh, you study graphic design. Oh, that's cool. Are you going to a school down there in Mexico for graphic design? I mean, you must be. You said you're studying down there, so. Oh, wow. Saki Michan. Like 20K a fortnight. Whew. And not safe for work. Saki Michan. I'll have to look that up. Is that a girl or a guy? You're recording, Irk? Oh, are you recording for Patreon? Is that what you're saying you're doing? Illa makes over 2K a week, huh? Huh. I should go through it again and see what. I'm just curious, Irk. Like, what's some of the stuff that they're offering? I mean, obviously, I know that you got to be a good artist. I mean, I think that's probably one of the the biggest keys. I know that guy Ross Draws. He's really good. Hey, Obey, what's up, man? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by again. Hey, thanks for the follow on Instagram, by the way, too. I saw that. So, Faya, do you feel that like most of these people that are doing well at this stuff are they all drawing like mostly fan art? Because I know that Ross Draws. I mean, I think every single piece he's done in there is either from nostalgic video games or he's got some Disney stuff in there too. I mean, he puts his own spin on it. Monsieur, you know Obey Art now, huh? What time is it? Man, it's already 10:30. Gosh. Lost a lot of time tonight since my Instagram was not wanting to cooperate with me. Alright, I'm just going to hit this with some highlights now. My paint's kind of getting old, but it's still good. This is gouache. Whoops. Oh, it's in the light. There we go. Artist Gouache. It's got a funny name. It's kind of like, if you've never used it before, it's like an opaque watercolor. Yeah, the ones that do really well seem to do a lot of fan art, okay, but are also popular in other medias like DeviantArt. Oh, well, yeah, DeviantArt, though, that's like, I mean, I feel like they've become like kind of the fan art stop, you know? Like, if you don't do fan art and you're on DeviantArt, you get like, like no traffic at all. So I would imagine they do pretty well on there. See, I actually, if you go look at my portfolio, I post my stuff on Behance. I actually have a DeviantArt account, but I don't keep it up to date very often. But the Behance tends to be more technical, I feel like. There's actually a lot of graphic design on there, though, too. A lot of graphic design and a lot of industrial design type stuff. Whereas I feel like DeviantArt tends to be, I think, I see a lot of fan art on there. I mean, and I think they've kind of labeled themselves as that too because of, they have those contests, like like either for video games or whatever, So it's always relating back to the fan art, even the contests that they run. I'm gonna mess that up. Oh, I got a follow. Griddick1. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Patreon pans out, though. I know that I'm also curious. I'm going to go check out those artists later that you're talking about, too. I always like to see what people succeed at and see what the formula is. And I guess I like to see what the formula is to see if I can either A, replicate it or whether, it would interest people at all, But yeah, the whole fan art thing is a thing that I've kicked around lots of times, though, as I was saying. It's whether to do it or not. I mean, even the Boba Fett piece that I did, really, it's more about the environment and the car that he built versus the actual Boba Fett, I actually want to get to that piece, but gosh, I really need to work on my card art too. I think I'm going to start working on that right now. I love using gouache. Actually, when I was in school, we used to have to do gouache paintings quite a bit. Our instructor kind of had a little bit of an old style, but it was fun to learn. We used to have to do the whole wash in the background. Actually, it's similar to using the mid-tone paper. And then you would do a whole wash and draw your object over that, and then almost use all lights and darks with very little color tone. Oh, cool, Monsieur. That's awesome, man. I have a 5-year-old too, so my 5-year-old though is more into characters and stuff. In fact, all my boys are big time into characters. They like watching. There's a guy on here. His name is Jerkmonger. If you don't follow him, he's worth a follow. His stuff is really cool. and he does comic art. He's trying to get a gig with DC Comics right now, and I know he's been doing some comic covers. Really good artist, so. But I think it's spelled JRKMONGER if you're interested. But my boys love to watch that guy a lot. Hey, Griddick. Just reading your comments here. Yeah, you love the old classics? Right on, man. Well, I draw a lot. I draw a lot of old classics for sure. Custom restos and restos and rat rods. Yeah, I love all that too. He said the roof needs to be blue. That's awesome. Some serious critique. Well, tell your boy I said thank you. Oh, thanks, Obey. You checking out the variants on the Boba Fett piece? Yeah, that my favorite is the one that's winning. It's kind of funny because I showed my wife and my girl tonight, and they didn't really like that one much, but it was my favorite. I think it's number 3. And I think what I'm going to end up doing with that number 3 is I'm going to put some of the floor lighting, so I get some of the up lighting onto Boba Fett in the car. And then I think where that strong light is coming from the right, I think I'm going to cast a shadow in that of some figure or something, just to kind of add to the storyline and some mystery to it. I think it'll create a lot of drama and interest in the piece. Got that really wet this time. If you're wondering how to use gouache too, you want it like the consistency of like a creamy milk. And see, and I got this way too watered down right here. Alright, I think that's all reading pretty cool. Yeah. So something that I like to do, I know I've told some of this before, is I like to, what's called a vignette piece. And basically I like to put a lot of detail. I should have, actually this has a little bit up here, but I like to try to get if a car is faced 3/4, I always like to put the most of the detail in around this area right here. And then as you go out towards the car, you let it fade out. Like, I'm not going to fill in any more of this wheel or anything. I'm going to let it just be like that. And so what that kind of causes is your eye to dance from here out to the car. Now with the side view, I didn't do a very good job because I highlighted the wheels and stuff. But normally what you'd want to do is kind of draw a line down from the cab and then kind of work your way out from there to the edges. But that's just a stylistic thing. It's not like you have to do that or anything like that. It's kind of a car design approach. When I was in school, that's just some of the stuff they taught us. Hey, thanks for the follow. It's Nick. It's Nick B time. You fixed the wheel everyone was talking about. Oh, Monsieur, you gotta... Okay, that whole incident yesterday, I was laughing so hard because the guy that was making the big deal out of it, he left. Like I said, okay, you know what? I go, I'm going to figure out what you're talking about here, and I'm going to go back to it, and we're going to figure this out together. So anyone that wasn't in the stream yesterday, he was talking about this wheel up here. And like I was just explaining to you guys, I just leave it. I left the wheel just as a sketch. I just don't finish the stuff up here because that's a stylistic thing that I do. And for some reason, he had the hardest time that I left the wheel. Let me use my pencil. I did not have a straight line across like this. I just let the wheel fall so it looked like the wheel was maybe concaved. It was a very little thing. I didn't really, and like I said, I didn't really see it as a problem or anything. But I thought he was talking about my wheel in the back here. And I kept saying, I don't know what you're talking about. So I finally was like, I'm just going to move on. So I moved on to my Boba Fett piece. One of the other guys in the stream kept talking about it. And I said, all right, okay, let's go back. Let's figure this thing out. We finally got it figured out what the guy was talking about. And I go, are you guys cool with this now? We got it all figured out. And the guy had left. I was like, man, all that stinking, you bail on me like that. Then later on, I asked my daughter, I'm like, was I being like a jerk or anything like that to the guy? I didn't think I was, but I don't know. He might have taken it personally because I was laughing. Who knows? But it was quite comical for me. I got a kick out of it. I didn't take any offense to it or anything like that. And hey, if anybody's going to give me a critique on my work to make it better, I'm all for it. Because I know I'm not perfect. Someone with real OCD. Oh, that's for sure, man. Similar to painting portraits, paint the eyes in super detail. Yeah, nothing else matters. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I know that, and even when you do a figure, right, you mostly focus on the head and the face and get that dialed in. You can let a lot of the other stuff be really loose, huh? Yeah, Miss Chicken Scratch, which was my daughter on last night, she was like, man, I want to see the Boba Fett piece. She got to watch some of it, though. Alright, I think I'm going to let this be now. I think it reads pretty nice. Man, I don't think I'm going to get to my Boba Fett piece tonight, guys. So that I'll definitely do it in the stream on Thursday for sure. And hey, just so you guys know, I know that I put all my information in the chat now, so that comes up every once in a while. While everyone's kind of in here. But I have, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Facebook is kind of light now. I think most people have kind of shied away from that a little bit, but I still get asked a few questions there, so I do visit that. Instagram's probably my main social media that I use, but it all posts to Twitter and Facebook and my blog and all that. In fact, I don't even list my blog much anymore because I don't write in it. I'm just not a writer. So all that, and then I have 2 stores. I have one that sells physical product like t-shirts, stickers, books. I self-publish 2 hot rod art books out there, and they come with 2 hours worth of tutorials about drawing cars. I have a lot of tutorials on my YouTube channel. Some I take from my streams here. Some are older, but they're still viable today. And then in the digital download stuff, I actually offer my sketchbooks for free. You can go in there and download the high-res scans of 2 of my sketchbooks. This is obviously my third, or actually I have a 3rd sketchbook scanned in, which I haven't put up there yet, but this is my 4th sketchbook. So this is the kind of stuff that you'll see in all my sketchbooks. And then I also offer my my book that I sell on my physical store. I sell it as a digital download for half the price. So, and it comes with all the videos and all the pages in the book, basically. So anyways, just a little self-promo there. I like to share that with people, just so you all know that it's out there. And if you don't follow me on any of that stuff and you are interested in doing that, then please do it. And then make sure you give me a follow here on Twitch too, so you can be notified when I go on. And my normal schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays. I stream, and I usually try to start at 9 p.m. Tonight was kind of a random thing because I had some technical difficulties. So anyways, a little self-promo, and I do appreciate all you guys coming by the stream too. And now I think I'm going to continue to work on the backs of my card deck. And if you guys don't know what I'm working on as far as the card deck is concerned, just let me know, and I'll fill you in. I think if you go again on Instagram, you can see my progress in there. So this actually, since I'm going to work on it, this is going to be the back design for a whole card deck I'm working on, and it's all hot rod themed stuff. So with this right now, I'm going to fill all this in just with some detail, and it's going to look similar to this here. And then, but with this design, all I really need to do is just a quarter of the card, and then this basically gets flipped and then flipped because it's going on the back design of the card. So you just design the quarter of it. Obey, yes I do. I actually had Scott Robertson as a teacher. And Scott Robertson, he's building his hot rod at my friend's shop. I don't know if you've seen the progress with that truck that he's been building, but it's literally here in town. I'm like 5 miles away from it. So I go down there and get to see his truck being built all the time. So yeah, it's pretty cool. One of my issues that I'm starting to struggle with on this stuff is that I don't know. I've got a guy that I've been talking to about card art, and he's done several decks of cards that are just absolutely stunning. Really, really good graphic designer himself, and he's been giving me some insight on designing card decks, and I need to find out from him if I need to do this more as a black line art type thing. I'm not sure, like, printing on the cards will keep all this detail. In fact, I'm almost certain it won't. So I might need to take it into Photoshop and actually adjust what they call the threshold, and it will basically make all this black line art. The only thing about it is it might get a little chunky, so I got to be careful of that. So all this is just, obviously this is an engine right here. You can see the outline of it. And so what I'll end up doing is flipping that. But this is kind of the main focus of the whole back of the card is the engine. I need to get out my... I like having reference in front of me for the engine stuff because it helps me making sure stuff looks at least decent. What do you do with that? Ah, here it is. So this is some of the stuff that I reference while I'm drawing this. Some other art. Thought that was all reference. Guess not. Yeah, where did I put all my reference stuff? That's good enough, though. It's good enough to look at. Do I have a hot rod? Actually, I don't right now. I have a 67 Bonneville, 1967 Bonneville that has been under construction for years, but it's actually sitting in my garage, and the parts for it are kind of all over the place right now, and I need to go get them all. I need to pick up all the parts from hot rod shops and my engines at a school, and so I just kind of lost steam on it a little bit, and I need to at least get all the parts together so that I can, have them here. But yeah, and then the other car I have is a kind of what I call my daily driver, even though I don't drive every day. Is I have a Subaru WRX wagon 04. It's an old one, but it's a fun little car to have. So I'm not just stuck to the American cars. I like a lot of Japanese stuff too. I love that the whole JDM stuff is really cool. Yeah, I think that guy that does those card decks, actually, he draws all of his stuff, but then I think he goes in Illustrator and finishes everything. Oh, that's cool, Nick. You have a WRX. You have an STI, huh? You got the fancy one. Nice, dude. That's a cool car. How late am I streaming, Irk? I'm gonna probably be here just a little bit after 11. Unfortunately, I gotta call it about that time just because I got work in the morning and stuff. So, but I will be back on Thursday if you have to leave, or you could watch the past stream. Like I said, I post at YouTube, or you can just watch it here on Twitch. So, but yeah, I think that's how late. I'll probably get off around 11:15, maybe 11:20. So tonight, but yeah, I was bummed about the whole technical stuff. So what year is your Subaru, Nick? I was so mad. Recently I was doing some construction to our house, and believe it or not, I actually live in California, and we bought our house from somebody. It's an older house. It's from like 1965, and they put storm shutters on a house in California, which obviously that's more common in like Florida and stuff like that because they have hurricanes, so you kind of need to protect your glass. But in California, and especially I live more inland too at that, so it's not like we're gonna get crazy weather that you need storm shutters for. So we got new. We were getting new windows put in our house, and I had to take down this storm shutter off the window, and I was yanking this thing down, and I pulled it, and it totally fell down on the roof, and it started rolling down, and it fell off, and boom, right on my hood, and like totally dented it. I was so mad that day. So it's got this big old, like, I mean, it's pretty noticeable, and it just dented in the hood and the side of the fender, and then scraped the headlight. Man, I was so bummed. Oh wow, you got a brand new one. Wow, nice, man. Yeah, those new ones are sick. Really cool cars. Obey art. Yeah, I have a bicycle. Hey, I dig bikes too, man. I ride bikes as well. I have actually I sold it recently, but I used to have an old Schwinn Stingray, which was, I don't know if you know what an old Schwinn Stingray is. Those were kind of like the bikes that were really big in the 70s as a kid. That was the cool thing to have. Yeah, I was so bummed about that. I mean, my car it's well loved, basically, is what I would put it. It's not like super fixed up or anything, but it's been kept in pretty stock condition. So it has the original wheels on it. It's never been lowered or anything like that. And I didn't really want to do any of that stuff because I was driving for about an hour to my work. Now I work from home, but I was driving quite a bit, so I didn't really want to invest a ton of money into it. But it's still a cool car. I mean, I love driving around in that thing. It's a blast to drive, that's for sure. I let my mate borrow my old box car. Oh no! Ooh, an 87 VW T3. That's still a cool car though, man. The T3s are sweet. But anyways, I was talking about bikes too. Obey. I mountain bike too. That's kind of my side hobby. And I've just always loved bikes. I have like I have a single speed bike too that I ride around with my kids on the streets. And actually I've started getting them into mountain biking now too, so we all go mountain biking together. He put a hole in the exhaust. That's awful. Yeah, that'll make your car sound like a tractor any day. Oh. That's a bummer. So have you done anything to your Subaru at all, Nick? A hot rod bike. Yeah, there's a really cool website about hot rod bikes. I think that's the name of it. It's like hotrodbikes.com. And there's some guys that build some total custom stuff that's like really, really cool. And it's they just basically either make their own frames or they'll chop up old bikes. You'll see a lot of like bikes that look like old flat track racers. They're kind of the old racing motorcycles that went on wood tracks. Really neat stuff. Whatever that is. Yeah, hot rod bike would be cool. I put an exhaust in about 2 weeks ago, but that's it so far. Oh, right on. That's the one thing I love about those Subarus, man. When you get a good exhaust on those things, they sound so good. Yeah, I'd like to put an exhaust on mine for sure. Eventually, I probably will. And actually, with it looking stock right now, I'd actually like to put the mud flaps on it. I kind of like that look. Looks kind of cool. You know, if they're not, because I love them when they're lowered. I mean, those cars look so good when they're lowered. But if I keep mine stock, I think the flaps on the back kind of add to it a little bit. Yeah, I bet it has a good rumble now. That's cool. Yeah, I love the sounds of those things. Yeah, with mine being stock, it's pretty tame. You really don't get much of a rumble at all. Very little. I think there's a couple of Subaru pages I follow on Instagram, in fact, just because that, man, I see some really neat stuff on there. Just people doing some really cool stuff. I like, there was a guy that I saw that took one of the wagons that I have, the 04. I don't know if you know, but like in the 04, they had, you have the sedan, right? And then you have the wagon. And the wagon actually used the regular fenders that came on the normal Impreza on the front. And in the back is basically where the wagon part is. But I saw a guy take the sedan... or no, I take that back. They just... Actually, the wagon, they used the old fenders from like 02 or 03 or something like that. But then on the sedans, they had those hips on the front. And I saw a guy take the front fenders off of one of the sedans and put it on the front of the wagon. And then he also took the back fenders off. But there was a lot of welding that had to happen on this, and he put those in the back. They were super cool. Hey, thanks for the follow, Audrey. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it has that. You're talking about the flaps on there. Yeah, it has the rally race look to it, which is cool. Obviously, that's what Subaru is known for. It's kind of a cool little detail if you keep the stock height, I think. Yeah, the wagon looks so cool with those hips on it. That's the one thing that I miss about my wagon is I love those hips on the front and the back. That's one thing I really liked about the 04 sedans. But I really wanted the wagon, and I came across this. It was an old guy that had it, and I was able to get it for a decent price. It's been a fun car for sure. So how you doing tonight, Audrey? Thanks for stopping by the stream, man. Yeah, I'm sure you could find pictures of that wagon. I mean, it was such a custom job that I've seen it several times posted all over. I've even seen ones where they'll just replace the front fenders, which actually doesn't look too bad. Because you can actually swap the sedan fenders right off and bolt them right on to the wagon, and it's not a lot of hassle. Then you just got to worry about getting it painted. kind of debating on what to do back here. I kind of want everything to look layered, so. You gonna get a BMW Mod Sport? Or M Sport, I'm sorry. You're gonna mod it? That's cool. Oh, you're there from Verid's channel. Right on. Do I make... Wait, what is that? CS Go skins? You want to turn that into a CS Go skin. I don't know what that is. Twitch tweak. CSGO skins. I don't know what that is, man. I have no idea what that is. Global offense skin. Okay. I mean, obviously I know what Counter-Strike is, but I'm not sure what the global offense skin is. Oh, are you talking about this right here? Oh, this is I see what you're saying now. I got you as a skin. This is going to be I'm doing a card deck based on all Hot Rod themed stuff. So this is the back of the card right now, like the playing card. So just for an example to kind of give you some context, this is the ace of spades. So it's going to have all this engine detail and stuff in there. I gotcha now. It would look good as a gun skin, huh? That'd be kind of interesting with engine parts all over it, I guess, huh? Oh. Debating on how to do this. I think I might just drop a shadow. Just a really kind of outlined big shadow on this engine to pop it out a little bit more, I think is what I'm thinking. So did Verid stop streaming tonight? Whoa, you get $40,000 for the gun skin? Wow. That's pretty impressive, man. I guess since I'm doing the artwork, I should just submit it, right? So are they always looking for different designs for gun skins and stuff? They must be, huh? Although then it kind of goes against my how I feel about contests too. I'm not a huge fan of contests run by big corporations, just because it drives me crazy that they get tons of free artwork. Although I will say $40,000 is definitely probably one of the best compensations I've heard out of any of those contests. I will say that. A lot of times I feel it's like $2,000 and we'll make sure that your artwork's like posted on a bulletin or like a like a poster or something like that. So oh, she's eating. So she's taking a break right now. Right on. Yep, you're right about the zero money. And I guess that's what drives me crazy is that these big corporations that, I mean, really, with a big corporation like that, I mean, $40,000 for them, it's not much, really, to get well over $40,000 worth of work. I guarantee that they're getting their money's worth, and I guess that's what bothers me. It does, because I feel like they're exploiting young designers to get into these contests, and I don't like that. I've always felt strongly about that stuff, and I know there's several other artists that share that same opinion. But I think for a while it was really out of hand, I felt like. Okay, sounds good, Monsieur. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. So the link is to Hyperbeast. The guy who made that skin is legitimately a millionaire from it? How did he become a millionaire? What do you mean? Oh, they get $40,000 a year? And the skins keep dropping for a couple of years. Holy cow. Like, so does that mean he's going to get like $80,000 then, is what you're saying? Total? And then he's becoming a multimillionaire? Is that because he keeps getting the $40,000 over and over again, like for all of his skin designs or something? That's pretty fascinating, actually. That's pretty wild. Become a multimillionaire from making skins, man. That's pretty sweet. Good for that guy, man. I guess it's one of those things that once you start getting in, man, that you get a reputation and people probably start voting for your stuff, I suppose. Is it... do people vote on it? Oh, Hyperbeast is the name of the skin. Is that what you're saying? I'll take a look at the link real quick here. Huh. It's not coming up for some reason. Let's see. Let's see if it'll come up on here. Oh, wow. Huh. That's pretty cool artwork, though. I dig that artwork. That's really good, man. So, once that skin is applied, then it goes over the whole gun? Is that what the thing is about it? It's cool artwork. No doubt about that. The skin goes over the whole gun. Huh. Irk, yeah, he was... we were just talking about gun skins, and this guy makes like tons of money from making gun skins for... which game was it again? Counter-Strike. If you want to share your art in chat, though, Irk, go for it, man. I don't mind. I'm pretty loose about that. I don't think you're gonna abuse it. If anybody else has art they want to share, go for it. I'm totally down with it. Yeah, I know it's a first-person shooter game. I know I'm acting like I don't. I just couldn't remember the name, which game, because I always get it confused with, you got COD out there, and you got Counter-Strike. Then you have, I don't know, what else? I don't know. I can't think of all those same style of games. I actually play Destiny myself, so I'm familiar with that stuff. Oh, it's the third most streamed Twitch game? I believe it. Yeah, I'm actually a big gamer myself. I will say that I've really slowed down on gaming quite a bit because I've been doing this streaming. I've become more addicted to this streaming thing and making a good go of it instead of playing video games at night. So, but yeah, usually if I play a game, I'm playing Destiny. I do like I like playing Battlefront with the boys. Sometimes I'll play Disney Infinity with my youngest son, which is actually kind of cool. There's some, I like the all the superhero stuff, and the Star Wars stuff is cool. Then there's I like Halo. I come from the Halo realm a long time ago. Always have loved that. Big Halo fan for a long time. Although I will say that I have the new Halo, but I haven't played much of it. It never really didn't keep my interest. I'm not sure why. But now I'm doing this streaming thing and haven't been playing video games as much. So what's that on? Oh, is that your thing on Instagram, Irk? Yeah, I know most people do stream video games. Oh, that's weird. It's not really. Yeah, Irk, your link came up funky. It's like an email address or something. Yeah, no, I do digital artwork too. In fact, tonight I was going to try to do some, but I'm just run out of time. I had some technical difficulties tonight. If you go, actually just posted, the Nightbot just posted all my links to all my stuff. I'm working on like this Boba Fett piece as if he built a hot rod. And if you click in there, you can see all my digital stuff. And then also those images down just below me. Those are all digital.
All right.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Twitch Tweak. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I do digital stuff too. I've done it for a long time. I just like to go back and forth a lot. There's something that I still love about the tactile feel of drawing and doing the pencil to paper. Still love that feel, and I still have my best line quality when it comes to using pencil versus digital. The thing that I do like about digital though is it's so much faster. I can get stuff done a lot faster on it. But like for this card deck, I just wanted to have some final pieces of art in the end, because I'm going to run a Kickstarter campaign on this, and this is going to be sold online. And I'll probably offer these as pieces that people can buy and stuff. So more than likely, I'll probably end up finishing doing this whole paper filled with all my line art. But for now, for speed purposes, I am going to take this into Photoshop and flip it and everything. Oh, you can't. Oh, are you watching on a PS4, Irk? Well, is this your name here? Is it at TC Gentry? Here, I'll take a look. Oh, you do some oil painting, huh, Nick? That's cool. Do you ever do any car stuff? Ooh, Florence, Italy won. Wow, that's cool. Do you have an Instagram as well? Faya, you've been pretty addicted to this cool game called Photoshop lately. That's cool. Yeah, you know, when you're talking about the art, I just a lot of me really wants to get better at my trade. I feel like I've been doing it long enough, and I see some of these younger guys coming up, and I think I've done okay, but I want to get better at several things, and I've kind of just been more in the mode of I want to get better at my trade versus better at a video game. So I've just kind of really been pushing hard to get better at a lot of the stuff I've been doing. Yeah, I'd love to see your oil paintings, man. I did one oil painting, and if you go to my my portfolio, it's at Behance. I did a P40 Warhawk for my boys, and it was on a 4-foot by 5-foot canvas. And I ended up taking I did it mostly in oils, and then I actually took it in and finished it digitally, and then reprinted it back out. So it came out pretty neat like that, though. Oh no, I'm into real hot rods too. I go to a lot of hot rod shows. I used to travel to a lot of shows and sell all my artwork and books. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about I self-published two hot rod art books, and they have like 2 hours worth of tutorials that I did on drawing cars, and it features me and like 13 other hot rod artists in the industry, and I have 2 books like that, so it's like 26 different artists, and a couple of them are the same. But it's kind of interesting. As I did that, I found out that a lot of concept artists are big time hot rod fanatics. Like one of the guys I have in my book is a concept artist for Weta, and they did a lot of stuff for Lord of the Rings. It's basically was started by Peter Jackson, and it's a guy named his last name is Pierce, Christian Pierce. And he was in my second book because he draws a lot of hot rod stuff. I'll look you up, Irk. I'll go back and check it out. Oh, you were paying M3? That's cool. Well, let's check this out. Some of my stuff. Finished the San Diego one recently. Do you live in San Diego? Oh, wow, man. Oh, wow. I dig those tree ones, man. Those are super cool. I love that Fall Trees one. I like that a lot. That looks really cool. You got a unique style here. Huh. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love the Falls Tree one. I really like that one a lot. And the Moonlit trees are cool too. Oh, sorry guys, I'm all yawning on you. Yeah, nice stuff, man. Get better at making skins. Yeah. Become a millionaire off of doing skins, huh? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, you just want to paint, Faya. I don't blame you. I mean, really, I guess what the thought went through my head is like, you know, I'm not going to become a professional gamer, and I don't really have desire to stream a video game. And it's not that I'm against that or anything, because I've watched lots of streamers. That's actually what ended up getting me on Twitch, is because I was watching several of the guys that stream Destiny. And I just knew I wasn't going to do that. The other thing is I just don't feel like I could compete in that realm. And just the way my life is right now, I can't spend that many hours streaming the video game. And like I said, I'm not knocking it or anything like that. Just me personally couldn't do that. And I felt like if I was going to stream something, I want to stream my trade and become better at that. Because the one thing I love about streaming on Twitch is maybe I don't get a lot of people in my stream, but it causes me to do two things. To talk to people, which I work at home, and I get to reach out and branch out to other artists out there. And the other thing is that it forces me to get stuff done during this time period, which is great because I think we get so surrounded with, extracurricular stuff. We're checking Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and it diverts our attention all the time. And what I love about doing the stream is it makes me work while I'm doing this. Even though I'm talking, I'm still getting stuff done, which is cool. And I love that. Oh, Eric, you're asking me which composition I decided on? I actually haven't. I actually wanted to throw it up and kind of have you guys finally pick the final one tonight. But I'm really leaning towards number 3. I think that one could look pretty epic because I talked to another concept artist today. We were talking about the composition, and he liked one of the other ones better because he felt it showed off Boba Fett a little bit better in the hot rod. But I love the number 3 for the direct light going across the car. It just creates a really neat atmosphere. And what I think we decided, just talking back and forth about it, to create more of a story, is to actually drop a shadow of a figure in that light, so that it kind of starts to create a story. Maybe I'll make it so the guy's like holding the gun down to the side, and you kind of pick that up in the shadow. And, Boba Fett sitting there on his hot rod kind of waiting for this guy, and you really don't know what's going to happen. Then the other modification I think I'm going to do is run some of those lights from the ground, except I'm going to do probably circles. So it'll be like a really soft light kind of bouncing up and creating a little bit of uplight on them to light them a little bit more. So I like that composition. I think it'd be really strong in the end. I promise you would not be able to compete competitively. Those guys are insane. You're probably better off streaming your artwork. Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, the tricks of the trade and all that stuff. I will look into it. I am fascinated by it, though, because that piece of art you showed me, I mean, that just a piece of art alone, that thing looks cool. Really cool. So you work full time and you do that to relax. Well, man, looks like you're cranking out quite a bit of stuff, so that's good, man. That's how you get better, is constantly cranking out that stuff, for sure. Procrastination is probably one of the biggest things that kills artists in general, man. Even I think if we can't think of stuff, we don't force ourselves to sit, and we call it not having inspiration. But I think sometimes we give up faster than we should allow ourselves to when it comes to procrastination. I know there's been plenty of times when I haven't felt like drawing, and I'll just sit down and I'll force myself to sketch. Even if it's the dumbest thing in the world, I'll still try to do it. And I've had mixed results. Sometimes stuff comes out good, sometimes not so good, but I will say that by the end of it, maybe I don't like the piece, I will feel like I accomplished something though out of that. So you like number 2, huh? I think that one was like, I want to say that maybe I can't remember if it was number 1 or number 2 was just barely behind number 3. I'm gonna look here. Now that I got my thing running again. Oh, I see that you just commented there. Okay. Right on.
Alright.
I'll follow you back. Hey, what's up, Evan Finn? Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I saw you commenting on my stuff today, TC. Or Irk, whichever name you want to go by. Yeah, let's take a look here. So you're saying you like number... Yeah, number 2 has the uplighting on it. And that's some of what I'm talking about. I'll put that back into number 3. So number 3 has the most votes and likes so far. Number 2... Let's see, number 1... Actually, number 1 is just behind number 3. Just barely. So number 4 is at the bottom. That's definitely the worst one. So, like I said, if you guys are interested, I'm looking at my Instagram account and I have 4 compositions of the Boba Fett stuff, and that's all digital artwork. So I do have a lot of traditional stuff on here, but you'll see, you go through and you can see a lot of my digital stuff too. I think because I've just been so focused on drawing in my sketchbooks. Most of my digital artwork is done in my day job. I design motocross gear, so I draw a lot just directly in Photoshop when it comes to that stuff. You play too many games and don't paint enough. Yeah, I mean, I'd say one of the things you can start doing is take away one game night. I don't know if you play 5 days a week, but if you say, I'm going to only play 4 days a week, or if you play 7 days a week, do it 6 days a week, or even 5 days a week, and then take the other 2 and do artwork, And then I think what happens is you really start getting a passion towards the stuff, and that's kind of what happened to me. Is I was like, I really, really want to get better at my trade, and it starts to overtake the time that you put into the video games, So, but I still enjoy playing video games. I usually still will play on the weekends. I have a brother, and we play together a lot on Destiny, and I love doing that. It's just a blast to do. So, and I made a lot of good friends on there. Hey, and by the way, if anybody does play on Xbox, I have an Xbox One. My gamer tag on there is Supasmack, SUPASMACK. But but I mostly play Destiny. So if you don't play other than Destiny, I probably won't join you on anything. So you like them all, yeah? Do them all. Well, I'll probably just keep it as a comp, and then I'll do one final one, because that's going to be, I want to make it a super nice piece. Like I said, I'd like to sell it as a print eventually. So, oh yeah, merge 2 and 3. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about, Faya. So 2 would be so I would put that, the stuff that's on the road that's like causing a light to come up. The one thing I didn't like about that piece is that after I did it, it looked like the road markers going down the road. And I didn't care for it as much because I felt it was too standard looking. So if I was going to do that piece, I was going to go back and take that element and make it more futuristic, I guess, instead of just a road marker. So I'm going to take that concept, though, and merge it into 3. And I'm thinking circles on the ground now instead that cause a little bit of uplighting. That light kind of the darker area up back, towards the back of the car and everything. And probably hit kind of Boba Fett's legs and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking on that, where I would combine the both of those. Yeah, that's a good idea, Nick. Set that time aside and don't let it and commit to it. Be aggressive about it and stick with it. I mean, this the stream here, I've been trying to really be aggressive of keeping that time frame so that I start it at 9 o'clock and stream. I usually only go till like 11. It's 11:30. I probably need to call it a night, guys, to be honest with you. I still got the day job going, so I've got to really be awake for that. Plus, I'm going to go hang out with my wife a little bit, too. She had to work last night, so I didn't get to see her much last night. Do a little bit more here. I'll give it another 5 minutes, and then I'll probably sign off, guys. So if you have any other questions for me, just shoot them out. I'll check chat here. I'm going to try to get a little bit more done on this here. PC Gaming Master Race. I used to be a big PC gamer. I'd say some of the first stuff I ever played on there was Doom. I was telling my kids about this game recently, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. That I used to play a lot of was called, I can't remember the name, but I remember the concept. The guy had a helmet on, and it was a sniper. And he had this like pointy helmet that came out, and it was a sniper at the end, and you would you could jump off, and you'd have these like real crazy like parachute thing, but it almost looked like Venom. You know how Venom shoots out all those like symbiotic like veins going off his back and stuff? That's what this parachute would look like. And it was a cool game, and I can't remember the name of it. I am doing more talking tonight, but that, I enjoy that too. I got that sketch done though, and I've got some progress done on this, so not too bad. I'm not disappointed in that. Checking my time here. You know what I really need to get though, I think that would help me out with my my talking, is I really want to get a monitor in front of me right here so that I can just look up at chat, and I might even put my camera right there. I don't know. Let's see. But I kind of just got the bare minimum for the streaming to see how it was going to go, and I feel like it's going really well. My numbers have been slowly going up, but they've been going up, and I'm having fun. Like I said, it just really commits me to a time to get artwork done, and I need to, focus on that, really using that as my tool. The other thing I got on here too is to really promote the card deck, because I'm going to run this as a Kickstarter campaign. I'm hoping next month. I actually wanted to launch this month, but I feel like I've kind of slowed down a bit. I need to probably start doing artwork every single night on this thing, to be truthfully honest with you. Although the cool thing is I've actually gotten most of my stuff drawn out as rough sketches. Now I'm just kind of in that final artwork stage that I've got to get through and get all this line work done. And this is the tedious part too. This takes a lot of time and a little bit of thought too to get get all the mechanical details in there and everything. Oh yeah, Twitch, you're right. MDK, that was it, man. That's the game. Oh, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I actually have done some motorcycles. I did some Harley Davidson design stuff for a guy that wanted to build a salt flat motorcycle to run it out on the Bonneville Salt Flats. Yeah, that's awesome. You remember the name of that game. That's totally it. The other game I played around that same time was Azrael. You remember the vampire one? That had a great storyline to it. Yeah, chat. I actually have chat right here on my phone, but it gets it's just hard to read it when it's that small. I don't like it. I don't like it that small. Like it's really hard to read. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to get it up right here. Actually, the tablet thing might work. I have a tablet, but my wife usually is using it right now, so that's not a bad suggestion though. Oh man, yeah, I love sport bikes, to be honest with you. As I love looking at the styling of sport bikes. That's one of the coolest things. I was able to several years ago. I actually designed some snowmobiles and for Arctic Cat, and I also got to work on those side-by-side cars. Now, I mean, they're pretty big now. I did actually the newest one that Arctic Cat has. I actually worked on the design for that. They did some funky stuff on the finishing, but overall, you could, if I showed you sketches of it, you could definitely see the influence I had on it, which was kind of cool. So, all right, guys, I really need to call it a night, man. I really appreciate everybody coming in. Great conversation tonight. A lot of new people in tonight too, man. I really appreciate all you guys coming out, checking out the stream. Hopefully I'll see you guys back here again. And make time for that painting, Nick. And you too, Faya. Keep working on that Photoshop stuff. So, but I'll give you guys a few more minutes if you have any other comments and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna call the stream here, and and just to remind you guys, I'll be back on Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And I usually try to get in one extra stream, and the extra stream can be anytime, like on Friday. The extra stream this week was last night on Monday, so my wife actually works on that night. She works once a week during the night, and so I usually take that opportunity to stream. So so make sure you follow me on here, and you'll get a notification. And also on Twitter and Instagram, both. I put posts to those. So. Yeah, I did. I got to design some of their snowmobiles in the side-by-side. That was a fun project. So anyways, I will see everyone later. Again, thanks again, and I appreciate your guys' time. Hopefully we get to talk again, and I'll talk with you guys on Thursday, hopefully. So have a good night, y'all.